Good evening, everybody. It's Mario with Motorcycle Knuckle Busters, and we're back at it again, bringing you another wonderful guest. We are here in the midst of the holiday season. Thanksgiving's upon us. By the time you've seen this, you guys have all enjoyed your Thanksgiving dinner and everything else. But it's a weekend and a time of reflection, what we're thankful for. And I've got to tell you, I'm thankful for a lot of things in my life. Most of all, the opportunity to bring great guests, content to you here with Motorcycle Knuckle Busters. But the blessings in my life are many. But one of the blessings I'm really thankful for is the people I've been able to meet through the years and the friendships I've been able to forge. And so I'm bringing you somebody tonight that's become a very good friend, somebody that every time we get together, it's special times, special moments, and everything else. But this is a man that's got it's had an amazing journey. He's had an incredible life, and he'll be the first pro athlete we've brought on here, and really look forward to introducing you to him and giving you a chance to learn a little bit about my good friend Earl Dotson. So without further ado, Earl, how are you?
How you doing? I'm surprised
Um,
to hear that we are becoming good friends. Yep.
well, yeah, I guess I didn't really phrase that. We've
Nah, you don't phrase that too good right there, man. Yeah.
well, it's talk about friends, and actually we were very fast friends. And when I met you, I mean, we started BSing, and one thing led to another, and we've gotten together a number of times and stuff. But you have always impressed me.
Well,
Your
thank
spirit is
you. Thank
is
you.
the attitude that you have towards others, the way you embrace life, the way you enjoy life, um, is has been an inspiration to me. And at my age, I don't get inspired by too many. So the fact that you do that, that's incredible.
Well, thank you, man. I take that as a compliment. It really does. Like I say, yeah, we kind of hit it off pretty quick, man. You've been a good friend, and I done met some wonderful people through you, and I thank you for that. Matter of fact, the reason I made it to Sturgis for the first year, and I thank you for that.
Yeah, and we had a lot of fun at Sturgis. That was quite a journey for both of us. So I want to back it up a
You
little.
had a lot of fun at Sturgis.
I
You
always
had a
do.
lot of fun at Sturgis. I had a traumatizing experience at Sturgis. I figured we'll go ahead and get that out the way because I know you was gonna bring it up. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to bring that story up. I mean, if you're willing to
We
put that out
gonna
there, I
bring
mean,
that.
I'll
I knew
own
you
it.
would. I know you.
So I want to back things up a little bit. So, for people that don't know who you are, I mean, Earl Dotson, you played for 10 years for the Green Bay Packers, Super Bowl winner, blocked for Brett Favre. Okay. Uh, but your journey started long before that. So, tell everybody out there a little bit about your childhood, where you grew up, and things like that.
I grew up in Beaumont, Texas, East Texas, between Houston and Louisiana. I went to Beaumont, Westbrook. Should have went to Hebert. Bubba Smith came out of the school. We had quite a bit, at least came out of Beaumont. Jerry Ball. Um, it was known for football. So that's when my journey started. I did the junior college route, Tyler Junior College for 2 years. And then I ended up at Texas A&M University, which for a small school, we got 4 NFL Hall of Famers. Gene Upshaw. We got Darrell Green. We have John Roundel. And I'm missing one more. But it's a powerhouse. It's a program that put out a lot of NFL players.
Now, I've heard you talk a lot about that time, and when you were there, you had a coach that you've talked a lot about. So tell me about him.
Juan Castillo, great guy. Played linebacker for A&I. Was a new offensive line coach when I came in, so we kind of learned together. We became quick friends. Loved the guy to death. He put together a hell of an offensive line. We had 4 guys out of the 5 get drafted. Uh, One guy went first round. Jermaine Mayberry went to Philly. Juan Castillo got the head coach, not head coach, my bad. the offensive line coaching job at Philly. That says a lot from coming from a school that small. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he helped me a lot. You know, the knock on me was I was a hell of a run blocker, but they didn't know if I could pass block because we ran the ball so much.
Right.
This guy went out his way. He filmed every practice of me pass blocking, mailed them to every NFL team. Um, I had teams coming down almost every week working me out, trying to get me into a bowl game. I was ineligible because of the division we was in. And you know what? Tom Lavac came down, and I tell people this story. It's so funny. You know, most of these coaches, when they come, they work the hell out of you. I mean, some of the silliest drills ever. Tom Lavac came down. It was the offensive line coach at Green Bay. Came down. He said, "Man, get in your stance." Got in my stance. He's like, "Pull left." I'll pull left. He said, "Pull right." I'll pull right. He said, "Come, that's enough. Let's go inside. Let's talk." We talked for a little bit, and he left. 45 minutes. I said, "Man, this dude hates me." You know what I mean? Like
Right.
he hates me. And draft day came, and you know, first team to call me. You know, I was lucky enough to be one of the few guys. Might have been the only guy from my school, if not the only one of two, to go to the NFL Combine. He let Juan Castillo sleep on the sofa. Uh, Juan got to meet a lot of the other NFL head coaches, and that's how he got the job in Philly.
Nice.
You know, yeah,
Nice.
that's a hell of a journey, huh? It's
Yeah,
a
it
hell of
is.
a journey, and like I said, but he deserved it. You know, his wife. I don't know if you want me to tell you this. His wife used to come looking for him at the dorms because he wouldn't come
Okay.
home at night. He would be in the office sleeping. That's how dedicated this man was to his craft.
Right.
You know, that's like I said, amazing dude. You know.
Well, the fact, I mean, you guys had four guys drafted. I mean,
Yes.
any school, I don't care if you're Alabama or Ohio State, you get four guys off your offensive line drafted in the NFL. That says a lot because
Oh,
you
yes.
might get two guys drafted and the other guys might sign free agent contracts, but four guys drafted,
Yeah.
that's major.
That's you know, like I said, we had a hell of an offensive line. I'm proud of them. You know, we was all roommates, and like I said, we was all lucky enough to make it to that next level.
So besides playing football at that time, what else stands out as, in your mind as far as that, you know, athlete student experience when you were there?
The camaraderie, you know, I made some great friends. You know, I hate to say this sometimes because I know it's not the same, but it's like the military. You make those lifelong friendships. You know what I mean? That's your brother, and he's always your brother. You know, and I'm lucky enough to have a couple different sets. I got my college brotherhood, and then I got my NFL brotherhood. You know,
Right.
I've been out of Green Bay almost 20 years,
Yeah.
and when me and these guys get back together, it's like we never left each other. You know, that's how amazing that experience was in Green Bay at the time that we came along. You know, we came along at a time to where, you know, you remember the hard times Green Bay had,
Sure.
70s, 80s. I mean, that's where they used to send players to retire. You know, I was lucky enough to be in Coach Holmgren's first draft class. You know, they had just got Reggie White. Uh, they traded for Brett Favre, got him from Atlanta. And, you know, we just knew we had something special. You know, we had the guys that you just knew we had something special.
Sure. So back up a little to draft day. So you get drafted. So I mean, what was your thought process? What was your impression when you did get that call?
To be honest with you, I wasn't even at home. Uh, I probably had the worst combine in history uh, because, you know, it was his first year, my offensive line coach. So we really don't know what to expect. So it wasn't the greatest. I wish that I would have prepared like most of these guys do now. You know, they go off to these different camps, they learn the drills. I didn't have none of that. So I'm thinking, okay, I'll go probably the second day off free agent. You know what I mean? Because I thought I felt that much. Well, I'm at the car wash on draft day, and I'm washing my little Nissan single cab. By the way, that's a whole nother story. Uh, I hear tires squealing coming around the corner, and it's my dad. He's like, "Can I say this?" He's like, "Get your ass at home, man. They calling you right now." It got home. It was Green Bay. Like, so yeah, it was. I didn't have a party. It was none of that. It was, me, Maury. I'm kind of a low key guy.
Yeah.
So it was just me and my family, and it was a happy time. Like I was surprised. I was like I told you a story about Green Bay. So I was surprised that they thought highly of me to take me. They took me in the third round, but I was their second draft pick.
Okay. So now you get drafted, training camp comes around and you head up to
Green Bay.
Wisconsin. Yeah.
Yeah, after I
But-
found it on the map and figured out where it was.
and knowing you drove.
Yes. I'd rather drive than fly. Yeah.
Yeah. So you drive up. Okay. So being a kid from Texas coming up to Wisconsin, what was that impression like?
The on one jacket, it was my Letterman's jacket. Yeah, that was a shock. Uh, it was an eye opener. Like I said, first time in the Midwest. Had to get used to a couple things. The winter. Man, that was an adjustment right there.
Sure.
But you know what? It was amazing because I don't know the history of Green Bay. And once I got down, and people, I started to learn more. I found out that Green Bay was the only franchise that was owned by the people, owned by the city of Green Bay. That made it more what? More of an honor to play for a team like that. And it's just a whole different experience. I tell people that all the time. It's a different experience playing for a team like that. That the city actually own you. That people you see every day are owners of this franchise.
Sure.
You know, so it was amazing. It was amazing. And then to to also the first day you step on the practice field is Reggie White. You know what I mean? That's the
Yeah.
first guy you facing off against. Like that was like I was ready to pack it up and go back home. But
Yeah.
he was a hell of. I mean, you know what? If one person helped me through this, it was him.
You know,
Go ahead, sir.
I was just gonna say every time, since I've known you, and every time either talking to me or if I'm sitting with you and you're talking to somebody else, every time you mention Reggie White's name, you get that smile on your face, you get that glow in your eyes. I mean, you have so much love and respect for that man.
You ever heard the saying before? Sometimes you don't want to meet your heroes,
Yeah.
because they might disappoint you. He wasn't a
Absolutely.
disappointment. You know what? I grew up watching the man play. I grew up watching him destroy people. And when I met him, he turned out to be a better person than he was a football player. And that
That's
says a lot. That says a lot. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
And he was just, like I said, I can't say enough good things about the man. He was amazing. He pulled me to the side one day and he said, "Man," he said, "I see something in you." He said, I'm going to help you out through this. I'm going to tell you what you're doing wrong when you do it to get you to be a better player. And when he did that, he made Sundays easy. The guy was amazing. He was amazing. Like I said, I'm sorry that we lost him the way we lost him, but he's with God. And like I said, being such a religious person as he was, I know he's at home.
Yeah, absolutely. I love yeah, I agree with you 100%, and that's great to hear. So, Green Bay, one thing about playing in Green Bay, and you've kind of alluded to it, you talk about, the love of the team that the city, people in Wisconsin have for it. It also has a lot of tradition.
And
And Was there any of those traditions that really stands out in your mind? I know for me as a fan, there's one that I love seeing, but what about you?
Um, to be honest with you, it's the whole experience. Like I said, it's the people. You know, I met people that was able to tell me more about me than I knew sometimes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Uh, and it was just the whole thing. You know, it's the history. Found out that Green Bay was going bankrupt at one time. They couldn't support the Packers. Milwaukee stepped in and bailed Green Bay out.
Yeah.
So if you remember, in 93, 94, we used to play a home game in
In
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Yeah.
Yeah, at the baseball field. Both teams was on the same sideline.
Yeah.
You know, like that was so amazing experience. That was a weird experience, but you know, it was amazing, you know.
Sure.
And those trips there, Mario, I had to get used to another thing that was uniquely Wisconsin. Butter on their sandwiches. That was
Well,
something I never thought I'd never run across. So yeah, it's I love the city. I love the people. You know what I mean? And I'm proud to say that I was able to play my full 10 years, my whole career with one team.
yeah, which is phenomenal. Now, the tradition I love is during training camp, you guys riding kids'
The
bicycles.
bicycle. Well, you forgot something, Mario.
What did I?
I was 330, 40 pounds.
So no kid was offering up his bike
Yeah,
to you?
I done walked next to a kid on the bike. But it wasn't too many offering me their bike to destroy, you know.
That makes a lot of sense. That
But
makes
you
a
want
lot.
to know something amazing about that?
What is
One
that?
of the kids who I used to walk with all the time, he should be in his, I want to say, early 30s, and we are still in contact.
I was wondering about that. If you guys
Isn't that
build,
amazing?
that's phenomenal.
You know what
Now,
I
is
mean?
he in
Like,
still Wisconsin?
no, he actually he was living. Last time I talked to, I think he was in Atlanta.
Okay.
You know, but we stay in touch on Instagram.
Okay.
But yeah, it's amazing that it's just that kind of environment. You don't see that in any other NFL team. You know.
No, you don't. You don't. And I think that's the fact, for people that haven't been to Green Bay, it's a great city. It's a
Yes.
lot of fun, but really at the end of the day, there's not a whole hell of a lot there, is there?
No, no, it's not at all. And I think that's kind of what brought us so close as a team. We spent a lot of time together.
Sure.
After practice, nobody was in a rush to go home. It brought us together. You
Okay.
know.
So now, a couple of things that happened with you. I mean, first of all, you played in the Super Bowl. Okay.
Yes.
You played in a couple, but you got your ring. So
Yes.
tell us about that Super Bowl and what you left being on the greatest stage. What impressions are you left with?
That's a crazy thing there too. People ask me my fondest memory of the Super Bowl, and don't get me wrong. Hey, a lot of memories from the Super Bowl, but my fondest memories was the '96 championship game. We played Carolina, and we had some years that before that we should have won, but Dallas kept knocking us off. I had to give Dallas props back in the day. They had a hell of a team. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Well, we finally got to our championship game, and we got a Carolina in Green Bay. And I used to live about, I want to say about 3 blocks, 4 blocks from the stadium. So I come out that morning to go to work, open the garage, fans done parked in my driveway. And I'm like, it ain't like you got time to have the cars towed. I don't want to do that anyway. So you know what? I say, I'll just walk to work. It's right there. It's 4 blocks.
Great.
Another thing you can't do in any other NFL town or city. So I walk to work. We have a hell of a game. I think we rushed for over 250, almost 300 yards. I mean, after the game, I'm thinking like, you know what? I can catch a ride home. And if you remember, Mario, when you leave a game, they reroute all the traffic. You kind of got to go downtown. I used to have to go darn near 5 miles to get 3 blocks after a game. So I
Right.
said, you know what? I'm gonna just walk home. I walked home after a championship game to go to the Super Bowl. I stopped at almost every little party they had on the way there. I was drunk as hell by the time I got home. Like you can't do that anywhere else. Like you tell
No.
me one other NFL city you can have that kind of experience. And that just
Uh,
adds to the lore and the history and the mystique of Lambeau Field and the city of Green Bay.
yeah, absolutely. That's really cool. You've never told me about that. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, dude, that's my fondest memory. Don't get me wrong, Super Bowl was hell. I mean, we enjoyed that. It was in New Orleans. And if
Okay.
you ask me, every Super Bowl should be in New Orleans. Like that's just my take on it. Think about it. Everything is in the same area. You don't have to go too far. It's Bourbon Street. It's a party. I think it. But we had a great time, man. Like I said, a great time. I hung out with Jim McMahon the whole time. And if you know Jim McMahon, that's the experience in itself.
I, I've I've heard that.
Yes, that's the experience in itself. So yeah, man, it was an honor, especially what I was 3 years into the league and made it to a Super Bowl. A lot of guys go their whole career and never make it to that game.
No, and you get guys, they start chasing rings and even chasing rings, trying to get on that team and catch that fire. They miss out.
Yeah, I was lucky enough, and like I said, Green Bay did it the right way. Like most of those guys on that Super Bowl team was drafted by Green Bay. you know, and that says a lot. It wasn't trying to get a ringer here and a ringer there. Desmond Howard had, he kind of he established himself as a premier NFL player again. I was so proud of Desmond.
Yeah.
Uh, Super Bowl MVP. I mean, big time. And to be honest with you, a big reason for us being where we was that year. The guy was phenomenal, and I'm so proud of that guy too. It's just so many stories that you could talk about that was just amazing. So many players on that team that was amazing.
So now, let's talk about you and during that time. I mean, I believe you told me you every off season you had a surgery, didn't you?
Darn there. If it wasn't scopes, it was you know, my first NFL game dislocated my right elbow. And I was like, I started to doubt myself. I was like, man, how do you get hurt in your first NFL game? Right.
Right.
To the point to where I missed most of the season, pretty much the whole season, to be honest with you. And came back. That second year was a backup. I ain't gonna lie, I had a wake up call that season. Um, I was a backup. The first week I hurt, wasn't preparing like I should have. I should have been preparing in the NFL. We played Philly, and it's so embarrassing because playing Philly and my offensive line coach is on the other sideline. Um, I get put in the game. The guy's name was Robert Fuller. I'll never forget his name.
Yep.
He helped me grow as an NFL player, and he worked me. I mean, he worked me, and I'm not embarrassed to say it. Because like I said, it made me a better player. But what I did, I came back. After that, I made up my mind like, I got this. I circled his name for the next time I saw him, which was the next year. And I got back at it. But like I
Yeah.
said, it was a wake up call. And I think sometimes we need that. Sometimes you can rest on your laurels and stuff like that, and you need somebody to hit you upside the head every once in a while. And he did that. You know.
Well, I think something in all the talks we've had, one impression that you've left me with is perseverance. Um, you've overcome a lot. I mean,
Uh,
you've had some tough times. I mean, towards the end of your career, I mean, you got cut by Green Bay and
I,
came back, and you know they drafted your replacement, and what happened there?
well, So I ended up playing a full year on a herniated disc, which probably wasn't the smartest decision of my life. Got epidurals to make it through. Was making another run. After the season had surgery, moved to Arizona, rehabbed it. Thought I was feeling pretty good. Came back that preseason. We had our first game down in University of Wisconsin, and something just wasn't feeling right. I knew it when I stepped out there. But I'm saying, but you 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 have that Iron Man mentality. So I said I give it a go. Blew the same disc out again. And I blew it out so much this time that I couldn't even stand back up. So ended up having surgery and missed that season. Went back to Arizona on off season. Yeah, and Green Bay called and cut me. They and like I say, I understand it's business because the NFL is a business. And I ain't gonna lie, it put a sour taste in my mouth for a while. And I stayed away from Green Bay for a while, but then I started thinking about it. I'm sitting here holding a grudge against a team without an owner. Those people in the front office, those head coaches, that coaching staff, they done moved on.
Right.
That team is still there. The people are still there. And that's why I started coming back. Well, they wanted me to come back as a backup. You know what? I said, you know what? I'll do that because my thing was I want to go out on my own accord. So we put some incentives in my contract. If I play so much, they'll expect me to come back and get my position back. And yeah, by the time we started the season, I was back as a starter.
Yeah.
And played that last year and kind of walked away from the game. But I wanted to do it on my own accord. You wasn't gonna just, I don't know, your pride. You can't play this game without pride.
Sure.
Every NFL player got pride, and we like to control our own exit, and that's what I wanted to do. I was lucky enough to still have enough in the gas tank to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So now when did you start riding motorcycles? I mean, I know you were you doing that during your career? Because I know
Yeah,
Kellen Winslow Jr. kind of messed that up moving forward on.
yeah, he really did. And we wasn't supposed to, but I did. I ain't gonna lie. And what I used to do at that time, I had a bar chopper that I got out of Arizona. Then I had this real nice Yamaha. What was it? What was it? It looked like the Harley Davidson. It was the anniversary one. Came with the belt drive. Real nice bike.
Yeah.
Tore it apart. Painted the frame. Built PM Perform. I mean, real nice bike. A-Pain loved the bike. And I would ride on my day off, and that's how I cleared my head. I just go out, sneak off, hit the back roads, the fields, and all that, and just take me a ride and clear my head.
Absolutely.
I've been riding for quite a while. My first bike was that I think it's that double X, that Blackbird Honda came out with.
Yeah.
Before the Hayabusa. So I started on sports bikes, and then ended up moving to choppers.
Yeah, so you've owned a few bikes and everything else. So
Quite a bit, yeah. Yeah, quite a bit. I love them, man. Like I said, I'm hooked. Let's just put it that way. But like I told you, I always wanted to go to Sturgis. But Sturgis always was around the time we started minicamp. I was
sure.
never able to do it. And then after I retired, I told you a story. I never felt like maybe that's not the spot for me. You know what I mean? Until you became friends and you invited me that time when we met.
Well, that was pretty funny. There was a couple of funny things that came out of that Sturgis. I remember I kept asking you for a picture of yourself for the Legends ride.
Yes.
Yeah, and you never got me a picture, did you?
I didn't.
No.
I got you. I'm sorry about that. You got to remind me, man.
No. I got a picture of you. Which picture did I send?
Oh, you thought about that one, really? Really? Yeah, I hated it. And that was my rookie card, right?
Yeah, I know.
That was terrible. Like I don't know what that photographer was thinking about. He could at least say, suck it in or something. You know what I mean?
You say it's your rookie card. I say it's your baby Yui card.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
I, I, I had warned you. I said, listen, if you don't give me a picture, I'm going to send them one myself, and you may not like that one.
I refuse to sign that card when people bring it to me.
Now, when you were at your playing weight, you top weight you were at 330.
I hovered around three. My playing weight was 320. So on
Okay.
Fridays, I was 320. On Saturday, I was 330. So let's put it that way.
All right. And and just something that's kind of interesting. A couple of years ago, we were in Vegas and we were down on Fremont Street, and what's that, the Heart Attack Grill or whatever down there?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you jumped up on the scale there, and I think you came in at what, 235?
235. Yeah.
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 So I mean, you dropped all that playing weight.
Yeah, I had to change my lifestyle, Mario. And it's one of those things that happen once you retire. You keep eating the same way, but you're not working out anymore. So I actually ballooned up to about, to be honest with you, about 350, 355. And it's just, one day I was like, man, you know what? This is not me. So I changed my whole lifestyle. I had stopped drinking. Started going to the gym at 4 o'clock. I would go 4 in the morning. Then I go again at 12. And I just put in the work to lose the weight, And I was lucky enough that I guess it's that football mentality. I stuck with it, and I was lucky enough to get it off,
Yeah. And you have. I mean, lean and mean, and and living healthy. I mean, and that makes a big difference in one's
Trying
life.
to live a little longer, baby. Trying to live a little longer,
So I wanted to go back to something you've already alluded to it a couple of times, but your first experience in Sturgis. That was, it was funny because we had a couple of things lined up, and you basically said, well, I'm going to come in and then I'm going to get out of there.
Yeah.
You were planning on getting out of there pretty short order, because you just
3
didn't know
days.
you didn't know what to expect.
No, I didn't. Like I said, every time I would see Sturgis on TV, and I'm gonna say this, I feel stupid for saying this now that I've met the people I've met. You just never seen any black people there. So it kind of threw me off for a little while. So it had me kind of worrying about if I would fit in there. And
Sure.
luckily enough, I was wrong about that.
So now you ended up, I mean, I left Sunday morning, but you were there after I left. So you
Yeah.
stayed longer than I did.
Man, I did the whole gamut, and like I said, I enjoyed it, and end up doing it again this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we were at it again this year.
Yeah, it's gonna actually be something I'll do every year. As long as they have me. I was lucky enough. The Buffalo Chip that you hooked me up with, Woody, Maryland. I mean, everybody there just been so, great people. Just great people, man.
Well, and like right now, you're there with Jess and Heather Slaughter, and there's some
Yes.
more people that you met there. I think
Yeah.
actually before you met them before Sturgis, because when
I
we
met
were
them
at
when I came
Meekum.
down with you to meet them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at the bike auction. Yes, that's how I
Yeah.
met them.
So now, I mean, tell for people, because I want people to understand, what that crowd's like, what it really is like to go to Sturgis. So kind of tell people in your own words, your personal experience and your thoughts now reflecting back on it.
You know what? To be honest with you, at first I went to Sturgis to experience the party, the riding and all that. Now I go to Sturgis, I go to experience the people I met. It's more of a family. It's more of a friendship thing now. You meet people that's in your life now. And like I said, hey, just like this past year, just sitting around, just catching up with people. That's what I love about it now.
Yeah.
Like it's a amazing experience, and if people ain't did it before. They need to really, give it a go.
And personally, that's my favorite thing as well.
Yes, you can't beat it. I done met some amazing people. People that to this day, like if I go to Vegas right now, Ron and Nancy.
Yep.
I mean, it's just everywhere you go, you done met somebody that they doors open to you.
Yep.
And it's a family. It's a family. You know.
Yeah, it's pretty special because, basically for 10 days every year, it's like getting back together with the family of your choosing.
Yes, exactly,
And
exactly.
so like Rex, now you brought Rex this year, and
Rex
what was
came with me.
yeah, so what was Rex's impression after it all?
Oh, he loved it. He loved it. Like I said, I try to tell everybody you got to at least experience Sturgis once, and that's why I kept on preaching. You got to at least try it once. And like I said, he's hooked on it too. You can't help but get hooked on it because, like I said, it's a family. It's a family. I met a guy this year, um, Christian, from the Hamsters. I met him at one of the breakfasts. And sitting at his table, got to talking to him. He a chiropractor. He started asking me about my back. He called me one day. He said, "Man, send me your scans." I sent him my scans. He said, "Man, I got a program that's gonna help you." He got on the phone, and this is not asking me for a penny. He got on his phone, took his time, called around Corpus Christi, and found the right person he thought would do the best job to help rehab my back. This is a guy that I met at a breakfast.
Yeah.
That's the kind of people you meet there. You know,
Well, I mean, you met Norm Lovelace the first year. I
Norm.
think you and
Yeah,
Marina were out looking, he's showing you how to find gold and stuff like that.
yeah. We took a nice little road trip. He showed it. It's a little place like that. It's amazing, man. Like it's really amazing. It's hard to really explain it until you get there and you experience it for yourself.
Yeah,
You know.
it's a lot of fun. You meet people like Norm from California Gold Diggers. You meet
Yes.
you Crazy Chuck from Moonshiners. Various people. Last couple of years, guys from Counts haven't been out, but you've met those guys, and you've
Yeah.
also
Mike.
met them in Vegas and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Well, Mike's been out there. That's true. So,
Yeah.
there's always those people, but it's the people that you never heard of. Some folks like, meeting Jess and Heather Slaughter. What great people. They do
Yeah.
so much at Sturgis. They really give back in so many ways.
Very good people. Very
You
good
know,
people.
you talked about Ron and Nancy, and there's and the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah. This year I met Brian from Clockworks.
Yeah, Brian
Love the guy.
Clark.
I met I mean the list go on. Tyrone from the manager of Bone Thugs and Harmony. Me and him became friends.
Yep.
He had his ride this year. Detroit from Detroit. I mean, it's so many guys you meet that you end up staying in contact with. Greg from the Hamsters.
Mhm.
Uh, so many guys. It's just, and every year it's like it builds, it builds, it builds. Your family gets bigger.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Right, because you get familiar with more and more people, and it continues to grow, which has been
Yes, sir.
phenomenal.
It really does.
So now, I know that you were up in Green Bay this past week. You guys had the Thursday game and stuff. Um,
Yes.
but you're always doing things with your old teammates. I mean, they
Yes.
call you up and they say, "Earl, I'm doing this," and you're there.
Yeah. Well, actually, I do a lot of stuff with Gilbert Brown and his foundations.
Yep.
So every year we do lacrosse. Green Bay is, I'm lucky enough that they think enough about me to still bring me back. So I still do autograph signings and different stuff for them. Um, is I've been blessed. This last weekend, Thursday night football, Leroy Butler. He got inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame, which I'm so proud of him.
Yeah.
A better guy could have can deserve it. He got his ring at halftime, and he wanted his teammates there. So me, Santana, Gilbert Brown, and Antonio Freeman was on the field with him when he got his Hall Hall of Fame ring. That's how close these guys are. That's how close we are. And Sean Jones. Sorry about that. I won't leave nobody out. So
Yeah,
yeah, so that's big time when he cares enough about you to request you being there.
absolutely. That says a lot, and
It
that
says
says a
a lot.
lot for you.
It says a lot. So yeah, love those guys, man. Love those guys.
So if there's a Green Bay Packers fan out there or somebody that's doing some special promotional thing or something like that, how can they get a hold of you?
Uh Actually, I have a Facebook page. I got a my, I started one. I started one for stuff just like that. So you can find me on Facebook, and it'll be Earl Dotson 72, and you can go to that page and you can book me on there.
Okay. I mean, and I say this from experience, you're a great ambassador for whoever you represent. I
Well,
mean,
thank you.
so, to back it up a little, a couple of years ago there at Sturgis, you were there at the Legends ride, and there were some things that got changed up, and you kind
Yeah,
of saved the day for Woody. I mean, and Woody says that to this day. He says you
yeah.
saved the day.
I was and like I said, it wasn't to be honest with you, Mario, it wasn't even a thing. Um, I was happy to be there. I was happy to help any way I can. And he showed this appreciation. This year, took care of me. Like I said, he hell of a guy, and I think he really did appreciate what I did, and I appreciate everything he done did for me since then. You know,
Absolutely.
and like I said, anytime he called, you already know I'm there. You
Yep.
know, yeah.
Yeah, I know that. I know that. So any special plans coming up in the future for you? Things that you haven't accomplished already you want to?
Yes, that's something that's me and Miss Slaughter is actually going to start working on.
Okay.
Um, Unfortunately, we are part of a family that we wish on no one. We both lost a son,
Yep.
and I think that's what kind of drew us closer together. And we're gonna work on a foundation to honor both our sons. Because we don't talk about it. Ain't no way we're gonna let them just go in vain. It's gonna have to mean something, Mario. You know what I mean? And if we could help one family not get that knock on the door that I got when I found out my son committed suicide, um, it'll be worth it.
And for people that don't know, you lost your son this year to suicide. I mean, and that was a dark time for you, and I know it was. We've talked about that.
Yeah, it was because I had custody of my son, so he's been with me his whole life, and yeah, I lost a part of me. I lost a part of me, and still going through my healing phase. But I take comfort in knowing that he's with God, and also that I got a calling now. You know, and that's my calling right now. Like I said, if I can help any kid that's having those thoughts, or any family that's going through that, and we could just stop one family to have to feel that kind of pain. That's what me and Miss Slaughter is aiming to do.
And I hope you and Heather both know if there's any way I can help. I'm behind both of you 100%.
We know that, and we thank you for that. We thank you for that. You know.
So yeah, I don't ever want to see anybody go through what you did. And I just, I respect you so much that you're going to turn that pain into a positive.
You have to. You have to.
You have to. And also, it brings honor to your son's name
Yeah.
because you're doing it for him, and we can't lose sight of that.
We're doing it for them.
Absolutely.
We're gonna do it for them. And like I said, it's like I said, I think it's gonna be a special thing. I think we're gonna reach a lot of people doing this.
I believe that's true. Absolutely. So we wrap up every interview we do with folks. All right. We have 3 questions. So you ready for your
Okay.
3 questions?
Go for it.
Okay. So, and they're all the same. So if you could go ride with anybody, past or present, who would you go riding with?
That's a good one. Indian Larry.
Okay. I've heard I've heard that one before. So Larry's on he's on a few list.
You got to, never met the guy, but I done seen footage on him, and he just seemed like he had a spirit and charisma that you would just love to be around. And so I would say Indian Larry, yes.
Okay. And you've owned a few bikes and bikes that, I know that you were proud of, like your Hayabusa and stuff like that. But if you could own any bike, what bike would you like to own?
Man, I was looking at it at Meekum, um, and it's a John Ships, the Dirty Bird.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I want to give me a dirty tail. That's my goal. I love that style of bike he got right now. That's my personality.
All right. We're gonna have to see if we could track one down for you.
Yeah. Tell him give me a call and send me one for free. We got it.
Yeah, you'll do some good promo for him if he hooks you up, right?
Go ahead and do that.
That sounds like a plan. And then, if you could go ride anywhere in the world, where would you like to go ride?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I never thought about that one before. I love the water, so I'll say Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Yeah, one of the islands.
Okay.
I love scenery like that. I love to just be in the moment and enjoy your surroundings.
Sure.
Yes. But there's one that I will make happen. I know this for sure. The Pacific Coast Highway up through the Redwoods.
Oh yeah.
I'd love to do that one too.
Well, I know you saw the pictures. I was just out and went up to Carmel and Monterey.
I saw that.
And that is nice.
Yes.
I definitely want to make a return trip back there. So
when I used to live in Arizona, I used to drive from Green Bay to Arizona. And I don't know if you ever drove from there to Arizona. I'm pretty sure you have.
Yeah.
When you come through New Mexico, and you come up, and then you're gonna go down through Flagstaff.
Yep.
Into the valley. I'd love to take that ride too.
That's
pretty scenery right there too.
That's gorgeous around there.
It is.
I personally, as far as small cities go in the U.S., Flagstaff's right there. I love
beautiful,
that.
Huh?
I just love Flagstaff.
The first time I came through Flagstaff, it was at night, and it was just breathtaking. It was just breathtaking. So yeah, I'd love to do that one too.
Yeah, those are good picks. So, well, we'll have to talk to Shannon because I'm sure if you go to Hawaii, Shannon can hook you up with somebody got a bike for you to ride.
Yes. Sound like
and stuff. And then of course, there's you've got Chris too, Simmons. Chris and Pat have their house out there. So Chris and Pat Simmons got a motorcycle for you too.
Yeah, well, yeah. Became good friends with Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love her to death. Yeah.
Yeah, they're good people and stuff like that.
They really
so
are.
I tell people about that. It was pretty funny because Shannon and I had met and talked to Pat and Chris earlier. And I think you were sitting there watching the auction, and then the three of us were walking out, ran into Pat Simmons, and you were tickled to death because you were Doobie Brothers
yes.
fan, and they were tickled to death. I had no idea they were Green Bay Packers fans, so that was like a match made in heaven.
Major Green Bay Packers fan.
Yes, big time.
Yes.
Big time. So that was pretty cool stuff. That was a lot of fun. So
yeah, he performed in Milwaukee, and they came down to Green Bay. I want to say they performed in Green Bay. I'm not quite sure, but I want to say they had one in Green Bay also.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that, but I think so.
Yeah, what an absolute music legend and stuff.
Yeah,
so
exactly, huh? And a nice guy too, huh?
Yeah, I mean that night, I think because you were staying with me, you guys went back to the hotel, and we went back to casino, and and Pat was playing music that nobody had heard yet that was coming off the new Doobie Brothers,
So
which was pretty
hold
cool
on.
sitting around.
And you could have called me and tell me this? I'm just not finding out about this, right?
Yeah.
That's terrible, Mario.
I didn't tell you about that?
You ain't telling me about
that. I guess I felt bad you missed out. So, well, we'll be making some memories here at Meekum in January, right?
Yes, sir. I will see you in January.
All right. Well, as always, man, it's a pleasure. You were one of the best people I know, and I consider it an honor to call you, a friend, and know that you're, you got my back, man.
Hey, I got one thing. We ain't gonna tell them about your major mess up in Sturgis.
Oh, the major mess up.
Yeah. So you can try to slip past that one, huh?
So,
how you traumatized me in Sturgis?
Yeah, so we definitely traumatized you. So I got to make a disclosure. I'm not a camper. I don't camp. So we were trying to hook up some other another water line to the camper, and was told we can get pressure and stuff. So I'm not going to name who it was. He says, "Here, you hook it up right here." So I did. So unfortunately, what we were doing is I hooked it up, turned the water on, and I filled the tanks. I didn't. I filled the gray. No, I filled the.
Look, you still can't get it right.
Yeah, no, I can't. So I filled up the sewage tanks with water unknowingly, and then somebody goes into the bathroom, and of course, those things, they're on pressure, and it shoots it down through and everything else, and I think we heard you say, "Oh my Lord," or something along those lines.
I go into the restroom, they got water on the floor. I'm thinking, okay, somebody took a shower, and that's what it was. So I take a leak. I step on plunger to flush the toilet, and I hear a rumble. I'm wondering, like, what the hell? And it was like a volcano of crap that hit the ceiling.
It was everywhere.
Down the right side of my arm and leg. And I'm just standing there like, what the hell just happened here?
That was bad.
Yes, it was bad.
I mean, we can laugh at it now.
Out the trailer.
Oh my God. And you're talking Sturgis in August, and it's like in the mid 90s. It's hot. It's everything else. And yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I ever go camping again.
No, right there. Funny thing is, nobody now asks for my help whatsoever when it comes to doing anything with the trailers.
Yeah. You Mark's. We call it Mark safe from Mario.
It needs to be. But 2 years ago, you were not safe. I did take you out. So,
hey, but it's a memory though. It's a memory of Sturgis that I could tell the story, and it's a good laugh, man. Like I said, I still have nightmares, but it's all right.
But when you tell the story, everybody looks at you with sympathy, and they look at me and.
Well, they should. Come on now. Sometimes I think you did that on purpose. I ain't gonna say for sure, but I think so sometimes.
I can assure you, I wasn't trying to victimize you.
Well, yeah, we had to tell that one, man. That was a memory right there, man.
Yeah, that was really good. So, all right, man. It's good. It's good having you on. We'll be talking, and I will see you. We'll be getting together in January. So, anybody wants to come see us, we got a couple of cool things going on. You'll be checking out the helmets we're going to be doing with curing kids cancer. That's going to be a really cool thing. And then I'll be with Johnny and Jack, and we got the bike with Emily Campagno that we're doing for Dogs for Your Brave. So it'll be a really good time.
Look forward to seeing you, brother.
All right. Thank you. Give everybody my love.
I'll do that. Take it easy.
All right. Take care. Bye.